Hello guys, so today it's my first video of recording me doing online learning. So we're doing this. I'm sure you guys haven't seen the earlier ones because I forgot to record them, but you'll see this one.
Final lesson on adventure stories. We've all seen some lovely stories so far, and I'm sure by now your teachers have given you some feedback on your stories, and that's going to form largely the basis of your next steps of where to go with your story. What I'm also going to...
So if you write the first draft on the adventure story, the teacher will give you the feedback. So, you know.
So, sentence number 1, the boy's crisps fell on the ground. Number 2, I don't like swimming in the sea. And 3, the children's bicycles were all red.
Okay. So can you add in the missing apostrophes? The boy's crisps fell on the ground. I don't like swimming in the sea. The children's bicycles were all red. So in this sentence, the boys has an apostrophe, don't has an apostrophe, and children's has an apostrophe.
Now you can choose to record this in any way you want to. You could note it down on a piece of paper or in your workbooks or on a whiteboard if you have at home. That's totally up to you. So add in the missing apostrophes. You can pause the video now and we'll check them over together in a sec. Okay, off we go.
So let's see if we're correct.
Okay, sentence number 1. The boy's crisps fell on the ground. So this is an example of a possessive apostrophe. So we add in our apostrophe here. We just have
So
one
guys, you're
boy,
lucky that you have me
and
as
the crisps
the
belong to him.
YouTuber,
So
because I'm quite a
apostrophe
smart
S.
kid,
The
okay?
boy's crisps
Gotta
fell
be.
on the ground. Number 2, I don't like swimming in the sea. Well, we know that don't is a contraction of do not. So we're going to add in our apostrophe here. Don't. I don't like swimming in the sea. Down here we've got our trickiest example. We have the children's bicycles were all red. Now, we know that the bicycles belong to the children, so this is an example of another possessive apostrophe. But we have more than one child. We have children, plural, okay? So, what we do with a plural apostrophe when it's possessive is, remember, we add on our apostrophe at the end here. So we have multiple children, more than one, and the bicycles all belong to them.
So guys, if...
Right, moving on to our main piece of learning for the lesson, let's quickly recap.
So guys, if you have any type of word and you need to put an apostrophe, but that word has an S at the end, you don't need to put double S and then in the middle apostrophe. You just put an apostrophe after the S.
All the important sections of your story that you want to make sure you have. So in your opening, make doubly sure that you've introduced your setting. You've really described it well, okay? So the test for that description of your characters and your settings should be that the reader, so whether it's someone at home or the teacher, should be able to close their eyes and really imagine the same.
So guys, what do you think of drawing the story mountain? So you guys can also understand what the story mountain is.
Some of your adjectives as well, included similes and even some personification if you're feeling particularly adventurous. Then we're hoping that you've begun to build some of your...
We don't want to make this video long, so when you finish this one, we'll see it back again. So let's go to our journal. Let's add a story mountain. So guys, we're going to be drawing a story mountain. How do you think a story mountain would be? In my opinion, I think a story mountain would be just like this. And also, the thing I like about Seesaw is that it has text. So for example, story mountain. Now I get to move this over here. So we're going to be drawing beginning, middle, and end. But since we are like very smart, we're going to be drawing it build up as well. So we're going to draw this one a bit bigger. Build up. Wait, I don't think this is how a story mountain should be. So I think we should rub this out. Now we're gonna be going to go back to here. And let's actually draw it and make it look a bit more better. Build up. Now on the top, what do you think we should call it? Problem or dilemma? Just because we want to see it American accent. Problem. And it's also an easier word. Now, resolution. And of course, the end of the story mountain is probably gonna be ending. We allow Seesaw to use the microphone so we can make the teachers happy. Hello teachers, and hello Mr. Martin. This is how I think a story mountain would be. So first we would get the opening, the build-up, problem, resolution, and ending. So for me, the opening is when we introduce the main characters. The build-up is when the problem starts coming in. The problem itself is when we're going to have to deal with the problem and the complication. The resolution is when things get done, and the ending is how they were in the ending. Thank you. So wait, we've done all of this. So yeah, now let's show it. And who wants to see the video? Like and subscribe. Hello teachers, and hello Mr. Martin. This is how I think a story mountain would be. So first we would get the opening, the build-up. Okay, that's good. Good enough. So let's go back to the activities and watch the English one.
Final
Yes, the story mountain.
opening, make doubly sure that you've introduced your setting. You've really described it well, okay? So the test for that description of your characters and your settings should be that the readers...
So, like we said, the opening is where we introduce the main characters and we describe the setting. The build-up is where we introduce what problem the main characters have to overcome. Continue to describe the setting, but introduce more plot and dialogue between the characters. Climax, where the main characters have to face problem or dilemma. The excitement is at its highest level. The focus should be that we last processed the plot here. Resolution. What's the result of the main character's actions after looking the problem or after facing the problem or dilemma? What has changed? The endings. Are the main characters gonna do something? What are they gonna do? Is there any more? Are the characters gonna do good? What have they learned? Is there a moral or theme to the story? Is the moral or theme to the story obvious? LE. What have they learned?
So whether it's someone at home or the teacher should do personification, check that at the top of our section. What's changed? You also have the main characters and we're together in the right language. We want everybody to be using a range of adjectives to bring their description to life, but don't be afraid as well to try some alliteration, similes, synonyms, personification, and you should all have some examples in previous work that you've done before we started our e-learning of all of those things. So if you want to have a look back over them, remind yourself of some good examples that you've done in class. They may definitely come in handy for finally up-leveling this last piece of work. Thinking about speech, so dialogue between the characters, to show what people are saying, that's quite an important one. Make sure your characters are interesting, so don't just describe their appearance, tell us what their personality is like, how old are they, and also, as we said before, bring your setting to life with lots of detailed description, okay? You might want to test that on someone at home, read it to them, and see if they can begin to build up a nice mental picture of yourself. So, use your edited version from your last lesson and your teacher's feedback to write a final draft of your piece of writing. So please take the time to read over your teacher's feedback. This is going to guide you with your last draft of this piece of work, and refer back to the draft that you've done before, okay? So what I like to do is, as I said, I think in our previous lesson, I take it one sentence at a time. So I write out my sentence. If I'm happy with it, I copy it down as it was. If there's something I want to change or something I can improve, I can just make those small changes to it. Then what you need to do is give it one final check. So read through it one final time, make sure everything's perfect. And then what we want you to do is self-assess using the success criteria that you've got here, okay? So you've got all your important things that you want to check off here. And if you've missed any of them out, there's no problem in going back and trying to add them in or tidy them up. And you can just, if you've completed it, you can put a tick in this box here, like that. And if you find that you haven't managed to do something, that's okay. You can just pop a little cross in this box to show that you haven't managed to do it. And also make sure you take some time to really think carefully about this box here. Next time I will. So what are your next steps? What do you think are the things that you would need to do if you were to do this piece of writing again? What would you do slightly differently to help improve your work?
He's got
if
a point.
It's something that you've missed out from here, so let's say you've forgotten to include an ending, you could say next time I will include an ending to show what the characters have learned and to explore any possible themes. Okay, so something along those lines. So a bit of a shorter video today, but please, as I've said, use your teacher's feedback and use my hints and tips that I've included in this video for you as well. As always, ask your class teacher if there's anything you're not sure about. You can send them an email, and really looking forward to seeing these lovely final finished pieces of work. Good luck, everybody. Bye.
Okay. So we know that we are going to be writing a final draft, not on camera because it's going to be on paper. Now let's see the math. How long is it going to be for the math?
Dealing with decimals, and we're going to be looking at all forms of rounding. So we're going to look at the last two lessons and combine them and revise what we've learned so that we're really good at what we're doing. So you need to know how to round numbers correctly, whether it means up or down, and be able to round 2 and 3 digit numbers, the nearest 10 and 100. That includes numbers that have decimals in them. And can you round to the nearest 10, 100, or even 1,000? So we're really challenging ourselves and making sure we really know this well.
To me, they're not that challenging, Miss Dottie.
So keeping decimals in mind, one thing we're going to have a look at is, can you find the decimal to match the fraction? And this is a little bit of a challenge, but think about it.
So guys, what do you think would match these fractions? For me, 0.23 would match this one. 0.25. So guys, this is the problem. It might be quite challenging. So what do you think is, let's see what the answers are, because I'm not exactly sure with this.
Decimals. So you've been learning about how to write the decimals. 6/10, example, what is 0.25 the same as? Quite a tricky one for you to get started on. But don't worry if you can't do, just have a good go. So here we've rounded up to the nearest fraction. So a quarter is the same as 0.25.
Because 5
And
times
20 to
4
100,
is...
you were able to write that as a decimal. And the 6/10 you should have been able to do is 0.6. Your half is 0.5. And 3/4 is 0.75. So this is just something to have a little game with. Try again later and see if you get them all right. And there's no equivalent fraction. So just to recap, when we're rounding to 10, you need...
When you're rounding to 10, your ones, if it's 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, then it would go to its own number. But if it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then it would go upper. Why? Because when you have like something like $1.99, people actually consider it $2. Why? Because the 9 is actually rounding to the nearest number, and the nearest number is 2, not 1. So you would actually get it more than the actual number you are in.
To take these numbers, decide what numbers are rounded to the nearest 10. So you're looking at the 1 value or you're looking at the 10 value. The 1 value will tell you whether or not...
So guys, in your opinion, what do you think this would mean? Would you think it would be 140 or 150? I'll let you guys have time to think. Okay, time's up. So if you get this one correct, you've got a bunch of brains there. If you didn't get it correct, you still got a lot of brains. Remember, you learn from your mistakes. We're not going to make fun of people. The answer was 150. Why? Because the same thing with the 9s, the 7 also goes to the upper number.
You're going to round to 100.
But what about 3's 7, 4? Give you some time. If you guys were listening to what I said, then you guys got both of these correct. It's 3, 7, 0. Because 4 goes to the lower number, 5 goes to the upper number. So anything above 5 will go to the upper. Anything below 4 will go to the lower number, including 0. Because,
40 or 150. And likewise, if you're rounding to 100, you're looking at the 100 value, and these numbers here, digits, will tell you whether you're going to round 273, or you're going to round it down or up. So there you are. 147, we rounded it up to 150.
So the same thing does with the hundreds. If it's a 7, so we're now rounding to 100. So like she said here, this would be rounding to 50 because this would be rounding to 70. Now if this was still 70, then it would go to 370. This one would go to 750 because 5 and above will make it upper.
And the others are all self-explanatory. Now, when we're rounding to the nearest whole number, when we're talking about ones, you might want to have a look at this link and this QR. It's quite in-depth, and you might not need to watch the whole lot of it, but it will give you a good insight on rounding to the first. So let's have a go at looking at rounding to the nearest whole number after you watch that video, or the nearest one.
So guys, as you see the example, look at these examples. 3 has already been done for you. Now, I want you guys to think with your brains, meta thinking, and think with your realizing as well, quickly, and analyze what is that? What is it going to be rounding to? So, have a time to think, pause the video, and I would leave you some time, but if you need more time, pause the video. Okay, time's up. If you need more time, just pause the video. Like I said, the first one, 3.7, is going to be 4. The second one is going to be 3. The third one is going to be 6. The fourth one is going to be 37. The fifth one is going to be 27. The sixth one is going to be 65. The seventh one is going to be 375. The eighth one is going to be 274, and the last one is going to be 648. If you get these all correct, if you don't get these all correct, I'm still going to clap for you, because at least you tried.
So 1.4 is going to be rounded down to the 1. It's 0.4. We're going to round down the number. But this is a 0.7, so we're going to round up, and the next whole number is 147.4. We're going to be rounding down because the 0.4 is less than 0.5. So you can do the rest yourself now.
So guys, remember, it's teaching me and teaching you guys. You remember science videos? Yup, this is exactly like it.
And how did you get on? Remember what I said, that you don't have to write 0.0. It's a given. You only put it the 0 if there's a.
So guys, did you get these answers correct? Because I sure did. So the answer is 1, 4, 3, 6. If you guys complain that I'm not doing these, it's because you don't need to do them. They already had their answers.
Another value after the hundreds or the thousands. So to finish off on our decimals, we're now going to just go back and revisit what we've done. Hopefully the feedback you've had from your teacher so far will send you in the right direction. And those of you who've done trick in the past, you might want to push yourself and go for trickier in line 4. So there is the work that needs to be done. So rounding up. And once you've done that and submitted it, you can have a look at the plenary. Now, if you're going to estimate these sums, you can round them to the nearest.
I can estimate these sums. So 1.9 is going to be equal to 2. 2.1 is going to equal to 2. So if you got those 2, it's actually going to be equal to 4. That one is going to be equal 5. This one's going to be equal 9. That one's going to be equal 11. Wait, not 11. 13? No, 14. Yeah, it's going to be equal to 14.
Whole number, and then do your sums. So 2.1, is it closer to 2 or closer to 3? You work it out, and then you'll be able to give a good estimate. And so how did you get on? Were you able to estimate? A little bit of a challenge for those of you who might want to do practice in column addition. Add up correctly, remembering, line up the dot, keep it in, and give it all you've got, and then you'll be able to work out exactly what.
How did you guys get? Did you get it correct?
Well done. Next, we will move on to time. So get those clocks out and start practicing and learning. We're looking forward to starting our next unit very shortly.
Oh no. Oops. Okay, so now the math one is finished. Now let's go to guided reading, aka reading time.
Let's ride. I looked out the window and saw Mum's car as the bus pulled up to a stop. Josh's mum dropped us off in the morning on her way to work, and my mum picked us up in the afternoon. Our bus stop was the first stop in the morning and the last stop in the afternoon. There were only 9 kids left on the bus. Emma, Josh and I were the only 5th graders at our stop. I put on my backpack and followed.
So guys, gadget reading is not really that important. So we're going to be doing the math, rounding, in our journal. So, and also just reminding, I'm the only student who's been on Seesaw for the time being. So now, let's go to text. And now let's do 2.9 equals 3. .4 equals 6. So we're gonna make this some kind of rainbow design. If you guys think it's gonna be nice, please share me your feedback. .4. We don't need to click shift. Equals 4. So we're going to be moving them down here just to make it look better. Yep. Let's make some new text and let's make it color green. 9.1 equals 9. And if you see anything that is strangely colored or black, then it's probably going to be the challenge for all of us. Let's color this one blue. 8.8 equals 9. Now we got to do purple, which is going to be kind of nice color. Remember guys, the fancy color is going to be this color. .9 equals 10. Now the last of the regular. Wait, this one's supposed to be purple. Let's make new text. And now 10.2 equals 10. These ones already have their answers on. They're just for a nice look. Now let's make this color. Wait, we just need to make new text. And let's make it this color. 1, 2, 3, 4. Point 4, 5. So what do you think this is your answer? please tell me in the comment section below. Pause the video and say the answer. Write it down in the comments and I'll see if you get it correct. Or you can check if you get it correct. I'm waiting. The answer is 1, 2, 3, 5. Why? Because this 5 is going to be rounding this 4 to a 5. That 5 is going to be rounding the 4 to a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was the challenge of the day. And we just need to make this one look bigger. Let's move this over here. Okay, so this, now let's make it look a bit more nice. We'll see. Thank you everyone for learning with me. Thank you everyone for seeing how you've done. And also, the best thank you is for doing the challenge and learning with Waseemotubehd.